AC Cambridge 12 Test 6 Reading / IELTS AC Cambridge 12 AC Test 2 Reading. Candidates who have too much difficulty in finding the answers and explaining the answers for the reading module, this post may be a guide to how best and quick you can find the answers and how easily you can apply them in your next test. This will help you as a step-by-step process and clarify if you have any confusion. IELTS AC Cambridge 12 Test 6, AC Reading Module, Reading Passage 1, the headline of Passage 1, the risks agriculture faces in developing countries, question 1 to 3, identifying information. This question asks you to find information from the passage and write the number of the paragraph, A, B, C or D in the answer sheet. Now, if the question is given in the very first part of the question set, I'd request you not to answer them. It's mainly because this question will not follow any sequence, and so it will surely kill your time. Rather, you should answer all the other questions first. For this passage, first, answer question 413. After finishing with these questions, come to question 1 to 3, and just like list of headings, only read the first 2 lines or last 2 lines of the expected paragraph initially. If you find the answers, you need not read the middle part. If you don't find answers yet, you can skim the middle part of the paragraph. Question 1. A reference to characteristics that only apply to food production. Keywords for the answer. Characteristics only apply food production. In paragraph A, line 1, the writer says, 2 things distinguish food production from all other productive activities. Here, the word distinguish is a verb and it refers to differentiate one thing from the other. The rest of the paragraph is about food only. So, by placing the word distinguish here, the writer means that these 2 things only apply to food production. Also, in the question, the word characteristics is in plural form, which means there is more than one characteristic equals 2 things. So, the answer is A. Question 2. A reference to challenges faced only by farmers in certain parts of the world. Keywords for the answer. Challenges only farmers in certain parts of the world. In paragraph B, the very first line deals with the challenges the farmers have to face all around the world equals farmers everywhere face major risks, including. Now, many candidates will think it says farming problems of the whole world. Don't let a line fool you. Go through the next lines. Here, line 3 says, however, smallholder farmers in developing countries must in addition deal with adverse environments, both natural. Developing countries equals certain parts of the world, so, the answer is B. Question 3. A reference to difficulties in bringing about cooperation between farmers. Keywords for the answer. Difficulties, cooperation between farmers. This question will make you read all the paragraphs, but you will find the answer in paragraph H. That's why I've instructed you not to touch this type of question at the beginning of your test. In paragraph H, lines 7 to 8 has a reference to Gilton who warns, that collective action does not come as a free good. It takes time, effort. This line is a clear match with the difficulties of collective actions cooperation between farmers. So, the answer is H. Question 4 to 9 matching statements with list of people. This question asks you to match the given statements with the list of people in the box below the question. Here, there are names of 6 agriculturists who have made different statements in the passage. First, find the main keyword of the question from the passage and then match other supporting keywords. Then, you can decide which person has made the selected statement. Read the instructions for the questions carefully. You may get confused sometimes if you don't read the instructions. Question 4. Financial assistance from the government does not always go to the farmers who most need it. Keywords for the answer. Financial assistance does not always go to the farmers. If you skim the paragraphs A, B, C and D, you can't find the main keyword financial assistance there, but paragraph E, Line 7 has the word subsidies, which is synonymous with financial assistance. It also says in lines 10 and 11, in fact, studies show that 60% of beneficiaries of subsidies are not poor, but rich. The underlined part of the sentence matches with does not always go to the farmers. Here, farmers are not rich. The statement is made by Rokia Kabir, Executive Director of Bangladesh Nari Pragati Sangha. So, the answer is D. Question 5. Farmers can benefit from collaborating as a group. Keywords for the answer: benefit, collaborate, as a group. The main keyword collaborating is synonymous to collective action, and this phrase first appears in paragraph H. So, it's clear that the answer is in para H. Here lines 6 and 7 say, collective action offers an important way for farmers to strengthen their political and economic bargaining power. Here, the word strengthen can be replaced with benefit. The statement is made by Sophia Murphy, Senior Advisor to the Institute for Agriculture and Trade Policy. So, the answer is B. Question 6. Financial assistance from the government can improve the standard of living of farmers. Keywords for the answer: financial assistance, standard of living, farmers. The opening sentence of paragraph E, from where we found the answer of question 4, mentions the statement of Shenj Fan, who believes safety nets and public welfare programs are valuable ways to address poverty among farming families and reduce their vulnerability to agriculture shocks. Public welfare programs are actually those programs which supply financial assistance and address poverty and reduce their vulnerability to agriculture shocks means to improve the standard of living. The statement is made by Shenj Fan, Director General of the International Food Policy Research Institute. So, the answer is C. Question 7. Farmers may be helped if there is financial input by the same individuals who buy from them. Keywords for the answer: may be helped, financial input, same individuals, buy. Skim to paragraph I and you find these synonyms or some synonymous phrases. In line 8, there is a phrase worth more attention which is synonymous to farmers may be helped. Also, the part of the sentence in line 7, consumers invest in local farmers, matches with financial input by the same individuals who buy from them. The statement is made by Sonali Bisht, founder and advisor of Inhere, India. So, the answer is G. Question 8. Governments can help to reduce variation in prices. Keywords for the answer: governments, reduce, variation in prices. There is a statement in paragraph D which deals with the reduction of variation in prices. Just focus on the words and phrases in the last 3 lines of paragraph D. There is a word government. The word mitigate means reduce. Wild swings in food prices means variation in prices. The statement is made by Sophia Murphy, Senior Advisor to the Institute for Agriculture and Trade Policy. So, the answer is B. Question 9. Improvements to infrastructure can have a major impact on risk for farmers. Keywords for the answer: improvements to infrastructure, major impact, risk for farmers. Skim to paragraph D where you've just found the previous answer to question 8. In lines 3, 4, 5 and 6, you find talks about improvements of infrastructures like roads, water, and food storage facilities, etc. Also, here are other phrases which match with the question. Take a look. Major impact on risk for farmers equals governments can significantly reduce risk for farmers. Line 4. The statement is made by Karnayo F. Nwans, President of the International Fund for Agricultural Development. So, the answer is A. Question 10 to 13 multiple choice questions for 2 answers. This set of questions asks you to find 2 answers to the same questions. So, the main keyword/keywords will be same. Remember, you just need to find the 2 answers and put in boxes 10 and 11 of the answer sheet, but you need not follow any sequence for that. Do the same for questions 12 and 13. Question 10 and 11. Which two problems are mentioned which affect farmers with small farms in developing countries? Keywords for the answer: problems, affect farmers with small farms, developing countries. In paragraph B, line 3, you can find the mention of smallholder farmers, which means farmers with small farms. There is also a clear mention of developing countries. Now, in line 3 and 4 you will find a phrase adverse environment, which matches with answer D equals the effects of changing weather patterns. Also in the opening of paragraph G, the writer states, climate change and its consequences for small-scale agriculture. Here, small-scale agriculture matches with farmers with small farms. So, the identifiable first problem is climate change and its consequences, which are a match with the effects of changing weather patterns. Answer D. Now, in paragraph I, the author talks about the presence of intermediary purchasers. Line 2. Purchasers means buyers. Those people, taking advantage of farmers' vulnerability, dictate prices. It's the reason as farmers are bound to sell their goods to these intermediary buyers, and these are the buyers who play with prices or dictate prices. Answer E. So, the answers are D and E. Put answers in boxes 10 and 11 in any order. Question 12 and 13. Which two actions are recommended for improving conditions for farmers? Keywords for the answer: recommended, improving, conditions for farmers. In paragraph H, as we've already read that collective actions can be beneficial for farmers. So, this matches with answer C, where organizing cooperation is mentioned. In paragraph I, lines 7 and 8 there is a mention of community-supported agriculture, where consumers invest in local farmers by subscription and guarantee producers a fair price. So, this matches with answer D, where we find phrases like encouraging consumers and financial stakes. So, the answers are C and D. Put answers in boxes 12 and 13 in any order. The headline of passage 2, The Lost City, question 14 to 20. List of headings matching headlines. In this question type, IELTS candidates are provided with a list of headings, usually identified with lowercase Roman numerals I, etc. A heading will refer to the main idea of the paragraph or section of the text. Candidates must find out the equivalent heading to the correct paragraphs or sections, which are marked with alphabets A, B, C and so forth. Candidates need to write the appropriate Roman numerals in the boxes on their answer sheets. There will always be 2 or 3 more headings than there are paragraphs or sections. So, some of the headings will not be used. It is also likely that some paragraphs or sections may not be included in the task. Generally, the first paragraph is an example paragraph which will be done for the candidates for the understanding of the task. Tips: read the first 2 lines, and occasionally, the last line of each heading. In most cases, the answers are found here. Do it for all the paragraphs. Do not read too much. If you still don't find the answers, only then, read the remaining texts. Question 14, paragraph A. In paragraph A, the answer is found in line 4 and line 6, at the end of the paragraph. Line 4 states, his goal was to locate. Line 6 states, and Bingham's plan was to. Both these lines have words like goal and plan, which indicates that there was an aim of the trip. So, the answer is, I've the aim of the trip. Question 15, paragraph B. In paragraph B, you can find the answer in line 2 and 3, where the writer says, a track had recently been blasted down. Again, you read further and in line 4, the writer also says, almost all previous travelers had left the river at Ollantaytambo and taken a high pass across the mountains to rejoin the river, but also therefore never passing through the area around Machu Picchu. It means that before Bingham's expedition using the recent track, previous travelers had no idea that a recent route has existed. So, the answer is B, a new route. Question 16, paragraph C. In paragraph C, the last lines contain the answer. In lines 5 and 6 the writer says, and Bingham also seems to have been less than keen on. It means for the time being Bingham also lost his interest in the expedition. So, the answer is B.I. Bingham's lack of enthusiasm. Question 17, paragraph D. As for paragraph D, the answer can be gathered both from first and last lines. In line 1, the author says, Bingham writes about the approach in vivid style. Line 7 and 8 says, it seemed like unbelievable dream, both in vivid style and unbelievable dream suggest that the description of Bingham was dramatic. So, the answer is B. A dramatic description. Question 18, paragraph E. The answer to paragraph E lies in line 2 and 3 where he says, his journey entries of the time reveal a much more gradual appreciation of his achievement. This means he wrote more than what he saw. Also in line 5 and 6, the writer says, rejoined his companions, to whom he seems to have said little about his discovery. So, Bingham writes in his notebook many things but doesn't tell his companions much. So, the answer is different accounts of the same journey. Question 19, paragraph F. In paragraph F, line 2 and 3, it is written, when he came to write the National Geographic magazine article that broke the story to the world in April 1913. These lines suggest that Bingham wrote an article on Machu Picchu. So, the answer is B. Bingham publishes his theory. Question 20, paragraph G. In paragraph G, line 5 says, an idea which has gained wide acceptance over the past few years. Here, wide acceptance means that the idea became a common belief. So, the answer is a common belief. Question 21-24, true false not given. In this type of question, candidates are asked to find out whether the statement in the question matches with the account in the text. True. The statement in the question contradicts with the account in the text. False. The statement in the question has no clear connection with the account in the text. Not given. Click here to learn more on how to tackle this type of question best. Question 21. Bingham went to South America in search of an Inca city. Keywords for the answer: went, South America, search, Inca city. In paragraph A, line 1, the writer says, Hiram Bingham arrived in South America. In line 3, the writer also says, exploration of the remote hinterland to the west of Cusco, the old capital of the Inca. So, the answer is true. Question 22. Bingham chose a particular route down the Urubamba Valley because it was the most common route used by travelers. Keywords for the answer: chose, particular route, down the Urubamba Valley, the most common route. In paragraph B, you can find the answer in line 2 and 3, where the writer says, a track had recently been blasted down. Again, you read further and in line 4, the writer also says, almost all previous travelers had left the river at Tambo and taken a high pass across the mountains to rejoin the river, but also therefore never passing through the area around Machu Picchu. It clearly means that before Bingham's expedition using the recent track, previous travelers had no idea that the recent route have existed. So, the answer is false. Question 23. Bingham understood the significance of Machu Picchu as soon as he saw it. Keywords for the answer: understood, significance, Machu Picchu, as soon as, saw. In paragraph E, lines 6 and 7, the writer says, at this stage, Bingham didn't realize the extent or the importance of the site. The text clearly contradicts / doesn't match with the question, so, the answer is false. Question 24. Bingham returned to Machu Picchu in order to find evidence to support this theory. Keywords for the answer: returned, in order to, find, evidence. The previous answer was taken from paragraph E, so, you need not go back. Just skim the next paragraphs. You will find no information regarding Bingham's return to Machu Picchu, so, the answer is not given. Question 25 to 26. Completing sentences with one word only. In this type of question, candidates